Welcome to another Petersburg By Night revamped production. The following is rated for mature audiences and may contain graphic themes that will be distressing to some viewers. As always, we recommend you ensure the safety and well-being of yourself and those around you at all times. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to, well, I guess we'll continue calling it Bloody Strings, since that's more about what the party is rather than the plot itself. We have taken a month off, as our lovely kindred here have been kind of exploring St. Pete after Benjamin died. We are going to come back and explore that, but first, I'm Bear the Bard, your storyteller, and if you guys would please reintroduce yourselves.
Hello, I am Nori, and I am playing Bellatrix the Malkavian.
And I'm Kyrie, and I'm playing Grey Novak, Toreador with big ambitions.
Hello, I'm Lakar, and I am playing Matthew Holden, the Toreador.
Hi, I'm Truck EXE, and I'm playing Nicholas, the maybe less angry Malkavian.
Fantastic. So to begin, it has been a month since Benjamin Fanny, the Nosferatu serial killer, had been brought to justice. You have been, for the most part, exception of like little personal projects, tending to yourselves. However, you all have received a correspondence, a letter that tells you the Keeper of Elysium would like to meet you within your Coterie's domain on this evening. That is something to come back to later. For now, you have other things that you're working on. Things of a personal nature that aren't exactly tied to that, but important all the same. So we will go ahead and start with Bellatrix. What is Bellatrix doing in this evening to prepare for the night to come.
Tonight, Bellatrix will be gathering her ghoul, Ophelia, and her very close friend and a bit of obsession, Lola, together. And they will be performing a ritual to search for another piece of Bella. She's lost pieces of her mind she's trying to find. They will gather together in the room where she does most of the readings, where she has prepared a special pot of tea mixed with some mushrooms that may cause a few visions. And after Ophelia lights some lavender, they will go around the room, attempting to cleanse the room of any energies so that they can get a good reading on this one. She will allow Ophelia and Lola to drink the tea and then bring forth a dagger and a silver bowl, where she will have each of them add their blood, a point each, that she will drink. And once the hallucinogens hit, they will dance together holding hands until she collapses with the skylight showing the stars above, where she will have a vision, a premonition.
Okay. Have you already rolled the resolve and aspects, or would you do that for me now?
I have not. I will. And I'll also roll my rouse check. My hunger increased. Spending a willpower. Four successes.
After completing this ritual and allowing yourself to kind of slip into the premonition, you kind of see in this dark space a bit of a series of floating glass, just kind of twirling and rotating in this empty vacuum, occasionally bumping into one another, and the one that you seem to be following as it passes through this field clinks into one. And rather than bouncing off and the two going in their separate directions as they have been, this one seems to latch on to the shard, causing the two to spin together and continuing. And then another clings to it, 3 pieces. And then finally you reach a point where it looks like it's going, a fourth one attempts to cling to the hole, but not quite makes the connection. The grasp isn't there. The attention moves from the bundle to the single that continues to float on. The shard gets closer and closer until you begin to see into the reflection a bit of a detail. And you see the image of a diner just off of a highway with a sign that says Cheryl's. And then you snap back.
My girls think I have found someone.
What did you find?
A diner of all places, but I think one of us is there.
That's exciting. When are you going to go meet them?
Soon. Need to scout it out a bit first. Get some information.
Okay. Do you need anything from us?
Just your companionship.
Always.
And then I'll spend the night with them.
Okay. As we shift to the next scene, Bellatrix, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to give me a wits and obfuscate. As we shift over to the neutral zone. What is Gray doing this evening?
Gray will pull up outside of a house that's become very familiar to him. One that I first visited. He came to the neutral zone following a lead on one of Benjamin's victims. He will step out of the car, walk around, open the door for his companion for the evening. Young woman, maybe a bit too old to be considered truly young anymore. Maybe mother to someone, and help her out. We've arrived, dear. I take it this isn't your first time.
No, not really. What? This place is a little out of a zone, though, isn't it?
It is a little out of the way, but I promise to get you back safe, sound, and whole.
All right. After you.
I will lead her up to the door and knock on Mr. Hodge's door.
You cross the fence, go across the little walkway up to the porch, step up, and knock. After a few moments, there is silence, but then you notice the light through like the peephole go dark for just a moment, and then light again. You hear the doorknob turn, and it opens, and you see Hodges. He's wearing a very similar to what he was before, suit, tie, slacks, no shoes. He's got that same cap. He's got a finely groomed goatee that has glitter through it. He kind of tilts his head.
Mr. Hodges, with a big smile.
Interesting.
I would like to introduce you to Susan.
Turns his head, kind of looks towards Susan. Susan. Where are my manners? Please. And he steps aside and invites you in.
Step inside. Lead her along with. I assure you, sir, she is Seattle's finest. Just as promised.
And then a sudden realization seems to kind of spring to him. Ah. Not too many keep those. He makes his way across the room.
Some of us do still have some connections.
Gray, was it?
Yes, sir.
Please, have a seat. What brings you to my home? Other than the very thoughtful gift.
Well, of course. Just as I promised. But also, I wanted to talk a bit. If you didn't mind. I don't want to get in the way of your repast. We can wait until after.
Sure. Would you
I
care?
do need to take her home, though.
Of course. Certainly. Would you care for a drink?
Absolutely.
As you are watching him, actually give me what's an insight.
One success.
Okay. You notice him walking about. He quickly produces a kit for, like, drawing blood. He doesn't feed on her directly. He just kind of goes over, sets everything up, kind of creates a tap, and begins to fill a couple of glasses. Like wine glasses, and then hands one to you, and then moves over to the other side of the room. He looks, before he does, he kind of looks over, makes eye contact with her. Take a nap. And she just collapses and falls asleep. He goes over and sits in the chair that he sat in that same night, pulls a leg over, and now, this is all very generous. We're not the most generous of people.
Ah, yes. You feel their strings attached.
What can I do help you with?
Well, I did want to let you know, to take the drink from that Benjamin has been dealt with. He will not be a problem in the future to you or yours ever again.
Benjamin. Oh, the one who killed Little Grim.
Yes. And secondly, I wanted to ask you about Grim.
Sure.
We do know that he was up to more than, well, just getting himself killed.
I should hope so. It'd be pretty boring if he didn't.
He was spying, sir. I do believe you were his handler.
Handler. Interesting.
No one needs to know about this other than you and me and some of my Coterie members. Your secret can remain secret. I, in fact, would prefer that it does.
Well, what you do with the information is up to you. I'm not too concerned about a few people who think they're better than the rest.
You see, I'm new here. And connections are few and far between. Someone who has eyes, exceedingly useful. Someone who has eyes that report to him is even more useful. These type of arrangements, I'll gesture to Susan, it could make them a regular thing. If you would be willing to share what you know, what you learn.
You wish to enter an arrangement with me?
I do.
Huh.
I can
Curious.
surmise one of two things. You're staying in what's called the neutral zone here, which means that you're not really throwing your affiliation in with either the young bucks or the old bloods. So that either means you have your own group, or you are strong enough to be one of those that stand on their own. Either way, I think all of us still need to feed. And for someone of your stature, I certainly think that the occasional pumpkin spice is deserved.
Fair. Yes. Grim was giving me information. I will tell you what. Since you are such a polite guest, in exchange for relevant information, I will occasionally like to receive information from your side. Since you very much firsthand understand, I have lost mine informant.
I think we could work out an exchange.
Excellent.
Now that the messy business of business is over, I'm curious, how did you come to be here?
I'm from... well... I've been a few places. The last from before here would have been Knoxville.
Never been there myself.
Wouldn't suggest it. But I owed someone a favor. They asked me to come to the Gulf for a bit. I decided I'd stick around a little longer than needed.
And then we at least have that much in common. I owe Minnie a favor and was asked to come here myself. There's a great future for this city, I think. One that you could be a part of, if you were interested.
Oh, I will be. This place has great things coming indeed.
How do you feel about Michael?
The cult?
No, the individual. This is his bloodline city, after all.
History of people who aren't too relevant at this point anymore doesn't matter to me much.
But that's where you're wrong. Relevance runs deep.
Obsession
Right.
runs deep.
True, it can. But in this case, believe it to be relevant.
Whatever gets you out of the coffin in the night.
Fair enough. I raise my glass to it.
He finishes his drink and sets it down. I think I will look forward to these conversations. I'm afraid. Sorry.
I look forward to visiting.
Please do. I'm afraid, have some prior engagements.
Of course. Shall we make this a monthly thing?
At your leisure.
Excellent. Move over and collect Susan. I believe these instruments are yours.
He takes everything back. Enjoy the remainder of the evening. He goes to the door, opens it, offers for it to you.
May the night keep you, Mr. Alcius. We'll help her back to the car and return her back to the handlers that I got her from.
You pull out of... You pull off from the road and drive away. Bellatrix. Do you hang around anymore, or do you move on as you are hiding in the tree across the street?
I'm gonna hang around a little more. Watch the house for a little bit longer, see if anybody else comes.
Give me a wits and awareness.
By the way, I got 7 successes on that other roll. With a crit.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay, yeah, no one's seeing that.
Three successes.
Shortly after you see Gray and Susan pull off, maybe 15-20 minutes pass, and you see a very black sedan type situation kind of pull up in front of the house. Door opens, you see looks like a very old man step out of the vehicle. He kind of looks around, sees the house, kind of fixes his suspenders, walks across the fence, and makes his way up to the door. He knocks. You see the door open. Hodges greets them inside. You hear what sounds like glass shatter or something heavy breaks. Even from across the street, this loud crashing noise. And then silence. A few moments later, the old man comes out. He is missing his left arm from the elbow down, but it seems to have been tended, as it's not just a raw mess. The shirt seems to have kind of been turned into a tourniquet and closed off to prevent any dripping. The old man walks across, leaves the fence, gets into the seat of the car, closes it, and it drives off.
Can I get the, while he's in the house, can I get the license plate for the sedan?
Easy enough.
Okay. Gonna take out a little notebook, write that down, put it away. Yeah, and then observe what happens.
Okay. After that, not a whole lot happens in the evening. It just kind of goes on. Eventually, it gets to the point, yeah.
Then I will quietly and sneakily, like, walk a few blocks and then call an Uber.
Okay.
Or a Bat's taxi, as Gray has now talked me into calling.
You get picked up and you move on. We will now come back to the south side of the territory, where we'll find our other two members of this coterie. What are you two doing this evening?
Well, it depends on how Matt wanted to contact our meet Nick.
Matt would be at his studio, like finishing up, putting things on walls, finishing up the masterpiece, or the centerpiece, I should say, of this whole thing. He's got some Ella Fitzgerald playing jazz, just jamming out. Then he's going to call Nick and ask if he can meet him here, because he wanted to talk to him.
Would give a bit of a sigh, but in all honesty, it's because he's staring at a bunch of notes that he, not exactly Charlie Day level of whiteboard, but not far off. As he's just looking at, it's a silent thing because he's been talking to Alex, and then the call, it's like, you know what? I need a break. Sure thing, Matt. And you will have Alex take him over to Matt's studio. And upon getting there, does he see anything in specific?
When you walk in, you'll notice kind of two different sets of paintings. One is a little more vibrant and lively, and then the other ones start to get not quite like horrific, more like gothic a little. They're definitely darker. It's definitely, you can tell where the transition changed for when he painted when he was alive versus now. As soon as you walk in the door, you will see the large painting, a woman with pink hair, and two men inside a broken mirror. One holding a cigarette, the other having angel wings, and a large red rose next to them. As soon as, he lets you in, he closes the door. Thanks for coming. It's coming together. I like it. It's good. Wow.
No, you're on point there. This is amazing, honestly.
This is, give me a minute. This thing, I haven't had this one on in a while.
I get it.
Painting that reminded me of Boston kind of stuck with me a little bit. Had to put it away. I had a question. I figured I'd ask you. I wanted to... One, I know I didn't want Gray to be around to kind of egg you on, and I know, I get it. We all have our things, and it's kind of good that you brought Alex, because I wanted to ask about him.
turn to Alex and just raise an eyebrow before turning back.
How did you get him like that?
Like what?
He's... How'd you make him like he is?
Again, Nick would turn to Alex. Do you mean? And then turn back. It's like, that's not exactly a specific question, Brad. It's like, do you mean his face?
How do you get him to do what you want? I don't want to say the word slave because that just seems grotesque.
I think he's asking about ghouling me.
Okay. Well, first of all, I ask him. I don't tell him. More often than not. If I tell him, it's usually because there's not time to make it a debate, and I promise to talk it out later. It's not. Look, ghouling him was not so much me wanting a servant, and he'll offer a smile to Alex.
I'm sorry, Alex. I'm not trying to be offensive. I don't know a delicate way to ask this question. Because I kind of want someone around here to kind of try to keep an eye on things while I'm unable to. But I wasn't sure if there was a long process, if it was a painful process. I just wanted to know what I was going to get involved in if I did this.
First, Nick's going to turn to Alex and say, like, I can tell him if you want. If you did want to tell the story, it'd probably have to go through me anyway. Are you alright? Alright. Well, I think you think someone like me, and you probably guess the type of view I have on bringing anyone normal into this world, right?
I also know how you are with, and I... So I wanted to broach the subject as delicately as possible with you.
Nick, Alex was like, I was going through the VA over over at the port in Virginia, over at Chesapeake Bay, and his kind life had left him. It had left him behind. It had thrown him to the side and given up on it. And I saw a friend. I was there to feed, and somehow I got to talking to him. A couple more nights of talking to him. I went out of my way to brush up my ASL so I could talk to him. And then and he'd look at Alex again. Slightly sad smile. I didn't want to give up on the one friend I've made since I've been embraced. So I told him everything. And I told him the truth, knowing that I'd have to kill him if he said no. But he was already willing to die. Took the other option, a little bit more power, being able to function again, outside of being looked at for the things that had fallen him and the injuries that he incurred, and to be seen as a person. So me ghouling him, not too far from what you are looking for, but I didn't make a servant, I made a friend. And you'll find that that's anathema to a lot in our circles. So beware of that. If you truly want someone that will actually be company, they can't be a servant.
And he's going to look at Alex. I mean, obviously it's not like it was for us. There's a different process. But, I mean, you're okay. You don't... for the most part, as well as you can be. You're okay. There's, like, not any weird side effects, so to speak. Like, if I make this person... If I make someone like Alex, they're not going to, like, freak out at some point in time. Is it dependent on... I don't want to make another Gray, okay? I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we don't
Love
need
him.
more of those as well.
Love him, but I'm trying to... I don't want to give this person something and then make them a power-hungry psycho.
Nick would turn to Alex. Answer it how you want, man.
He begins signing. I don't have clearly I feel better than probably I ever have. I feel stronger. I can do things I couldn't do before. But there is something there that I am not quite capable of shaking. But that was the choice I made, and unlike you, I can turn to Nick and say I'm done.
Nick will put a hand on his shoulder, give a nod after he's finished translating. Like, I think, Matt, it's just that. You know, like, I do not approve of dueling, except in extremes. I just don't. This world is not meant for innocent souls to come in. But that's my view on it. And I can't exactly criticize anyone for having a goal when I have one, no matter what my justification is. Because I can be a hypocrite about some things, I will not be a hypocrite about that.
Fair enough. And I wouldn't judge you. I mean, I figured if anything, you were saving him. I mean, I've never seen you treat him like anything other than a human being, a person, a friend. I'm sorry that I used the word slave earlier. I did not tend to,
It's our society. It's the society that we've experienced and been beaten into us for the past 8, 10, 50 years.
I will admit, I did see a few back in the day, but I never really thought about it. I was too busy being me and traveling. So I never really stopped to think about it. And then I see you with Alex and I figured I'd ask finally.
I think it's more that I just found one spot of light it's just extremely rare. Like, Alex was in a situation where he was able to make a choice without mostly regrets, but I can't fully speak for him. It's, if you want to be moral about it, you will find trouble. It will be much harder. And I think you should. I think you should. But most don't. And that is your choice, and hopefully their choice. I think that's what it ultimately comes down to. I mean, if we want to go into the philosophy of it, if they aren't fully aware and consenting, I think anyone with a brain can see exactly what that'll lead down to. It'll lead to either betrayal, hatred, regret, or all sorts of terrible things that'll just poison everything. Maybe not right away, but I mean the brain, it works the way it does. I mean, they will not be kindred, and they're going to be looked at as less than no matter where they go. I mean, you do with that what you will, you know?
Fair enough. But yeah, it's not something I was planning on just like, dropping everything and doing tonight. I was just, I wanted, you gotta draw the sketch before you put the paint on, I needed to get a clearer image before I made my decision. I mean, I just got this thing up and running, so.
As I like, I'll end it with this, it's, I believe I'm an outlier. So coming to me to ask how it works might not be your best bet. I'm glad you did. I hope that if you're going to ghoul a poor kind, that at least it's under the same circumstances. But it's generally not what happens from all I've seen. So.
It's one of those. I could have very easily, gone to someone like Gray or Bella, and they would have their own opinions, but you would be the harshest critic. And if you can get through a civil conversation with your harshest critic, everything else after that is a breeze.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Matt, you are probably the easiest to talk to out of everyone I know. I mean, don't get me wrong, Bella annoys me sometimes, but I still have some sense of, whatever. Great.
Well, I mean, we have the new place, so we're good.
Yeah, I can't keep annoying Bella anymore by taking her tea.
But yeah, speaking of which, I should probably lock this place up and head back there.
Oh, nah, you know what? I'll wait till we meet up with the group.
Okay. With that, you guys leave the studio, and we'll go ahead and shift toward the new location, which is where again?
Ascent.
Ascent. Okay. I'll go ahead and have you guys reconvene inside your New Haven. Would anybody like to set the scene? This was one you all picked. I am unfamiliar with it.
Well, as I said, Nick was going through an array of papers, written and otherwise, that will be about the room, because that's where he was before Matt called. So that's his contribution. It's mostly Nick. It's kind of been converted into Nick's space, but he's left enough room for everyone to make their own mark. There's also the one spot of luxury that Nick has ever shown them. A very old but nice wooden humidor filled with cigars.
Okay. We will reconvene, all of you coming together at the new Coterie Haven. We'll say you guys are kind of in like a central kind of lounge area as you wait for Edwin's arrival. I will go ahead and pass the scene to you guys. We'll say Matthew and Nicholas are the last to arrive.
We need something on the walls in here. thinking we send Matt to the Dali and get some originals. What do you think?
Dali is nice.
I mean, it would be a heist to end all heists, right? Right from under the prince's nose?
Mm-hmm.
Right from under Edwin's nose? It doesn't excite you? Nothing? Come on.
I have my mind on other things.
What other things are more important than what's happening right now?
Lots.
I'm here.
She'll move up and pat Gray on the head. Yes, yes, you are.
Seriously though, why are you so preoccupied?
I have a lead on something. It's important to me.
Oh, a lead? That usually means it's something you've been looking for a while.
It is. Actually, I have a lot of leads. It's been a very productive month. Though, a very interesting night.
Oh?
What were you doing at Mr. Hodges tonight? With that pretty lady. She looked a little old
Hodges?
for you. Yeah.
That's right. I did promise him I was going to deliver a few things last time we talked. Wanted to make sure that everything was aesthetic after the whole Benjamin incident. You know, he had narrowed it down to either Charlie or Hodges.
Yeah.
I figured he should at least have some knowledge that the man out to kill him was no longer out to kill him.
Suppose that's fair.
But Susan's just a fling. Probably won't be seeing her around for a while. On again, off again, maybe. But like you said, she is a little old for me.
Interesting.
And a little, well, basic.
Okay.
So what were you doing? Snooping?
He's a spy. Or he had a spy, so I wanted to know what, or who he talks to.
I don't think he was really a spy. Maybe a little curious, but definitely not a spy.
Yeah. I suppose.
Speaking of which, do you still have that journal that Grim left behind?
Why?
I wanted to give it a read through.
I suppose.
You suppose? Or you burned it? Or you dunked it in a tea glass somewhere?
Well, I mean, it may have gotten some tea on it. I do run a tea shop. But it's not burned. I'll bring it by your place sometime. Soon.
What's soon?
Soon.
Alright, fine. Fine, I'll settle for soon. Where are your little handmaidens?
Doing handmaiden things. You're right, though. These walls are really boring.
They are. Bland. Cigars aren't so bad, though.
At that point, Matt and Nick will appear.
As Nick walks in, he's going to immediately look at his cigars, look at Gray.
I haven't taken any of them yet. They smell nice. They're probably going to taste awful like everything else.
Don't open it.
Why not? How else am I going to smell them?
Humidity. Wooden cigars leak a little bit of humidity. Wooden humidors leak a little bit of humidity every time you open them, which means that I have to keep them, like, focus on trying to make sure that they're properly maintained, every time you open it, it loses a bit of that.
So I
Want one?
shouldn't, and he will get up and move across towards the humidor. I shouldn't do this and move to open it up.
If you want a cigar, Gray, I'll give you one. Please don't
Oh, no.
touch it.
Just wanted to smell them. Close it back.
They're in cellophane. There's nothing to smell.
You sure? I'm pretty sure I could smell them through the cellophane.
All I'm saying is, once I get something on these walls, there will be no smoking in here.
Speaking of which, I was just talking about this. Do you think that you could pick up something from the Dali?
You mean from the gift shop, right?
Isn't it the whole thing a gift shop for you?
Yes, the gift shop, right?
Anyway, talking about cigars, someone who doesn't know jack shit thinking they can smell shit through cellophane.
My senses are a lot sharper than yours.
It's not about Anyway, I was at Central, just south of here, Central Cigar. I've been looking into it and maybe expanding and actually having it as a business.
Okay.
You'll never guess who walked in. Our own Mr. Hodges. South of us, in territory. Picked up a little box from the owner.
Well, he gets around then.
Apparently.
Good to know that he's not averse to making a visit.
He walks over, closes the humidor, takes his little key and locks it. Yep.
So Edwin, tonight, big news. Last time this happened, it was life-threatening. We'll say over-under that it's life-threatening this time.
Well, I guess we survived, so probably.
It's life-threatening.
I think we did better than survive, to be honest. Look at us. We're no longer staying at your place. So. Matt is got a studio. My place is coming along nicely. Nick is talking about businesses and actually building something instead of, just hanging out with the dead and the dying.
He does seem more cheerful today. Why are you more cheerful?
He got laid.
I hope it wasn't one of the dead or the dying.
It was probably Alex.
Technically, Matt's dead.
Look to Matt.
No, but...
Two of you? Really?
Yeah, but, there were times back in the day that I can't remember what I've done. And I woke up, there were a lot of bodies, and they did not that kind of... the college.
I try, and
Matt, I thought we were a thing, though.
Oh, don't you worry, sweetheart. My heart only stops beating for you.
We'll always have the police station.
Exactly.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
No.
Please interrupt.
Edwin steps into the room. It has been some time. I hope I hope you're rested.
Yes, but is that what? That's an interesting way to start a conversation.
And I hope you're not going to send us back out after another murderous individual.
No. No serial killers, to my understanding. No. There has been a couple of developments that I've thought would be relevant to you. First is directly related to you. After the effort that you went through in order to put an end to the threat that was Benjamin, and how much you've helped the city, the prince and I had a discussion. In no small manner, you have saved me twice. So, on one hand, the prince felt it would not be great for the keeper to owe a boon in the severity of which I would owe you. However, I still owe a debt. So, I, Keeper of Elysium, will be making myself available to you as a aid of sorts. With that, I need everybody on your sheet to please add a 5 mala, Edwin Kane.
That was the CRK.
C. I will be not overseeing, but more directly collaborating with your coterie. And should you need something, within reason, I am to assist you.
Most like a shadow of sorts.
Of sorts. Now, second, Miss Bellatrix.
Yes.
I've decided, given the more direct nature of the task that you may or may not be partaking in the future, I've decided to let you keep the gun that was lent.
Excellent. It's very handy.
I found it to be so. And finally, he steps kind of a little more out into the room so that he can address you more directly. The prince does have a request. If you were up to it, this is not something that was specifically requested of you, but considering one in your group, I figured your talents were rather suited to it. And he turns toward Matthew. There is a newcomer in town, specifically from the Roses. His name is Victor. We don't know much about him, but Victor is a renowned art dealer. I would very much appreciate it, or the prince would rather appreciate it, if you were to crash a party he intends to be having sometime within Camarilla territory. We do not know the whereabouts or any information about where this party is hidden. He tends to keep these events incredibly private. But if you manage to get that information and can access the party, these parties are usually very extravagant art galas that he keeps underground. There's an object there that is of great interest to the prince. What we would like you to do is to infiltrate that party and confiscate the object in question. You are more than welcome to say no. Interesting.
You said art dealer, crash a party, and object of interest. If I would have said no, somebody would have just been I would have given you permission to stake me on the spot.
Duly noted. Again, unfortunately, I don't know much about the location where this party will happen. I don't really know much about Victor. I know that he showed up roughly a couple months ago, has been kind of keeping to himself, and he's from New York. Outside of that, I don't have much information, and Carmine hasn't really managed to collect much either. So how you will find or get to the party, I suppose that is going to be up to you.
You're telling me that this Victor Adams, I believe, has the audacity to nub the prince.
The audacity to what?
Snub the prince.
Hasn't snubbed the prince, he's just been very reserved. He came and made himself known. They had the meet. But
didn't invite him to his party.
Did not invite him to the party. Or anyone in his court. As far as I'm aware, there are no officials at the location.
Do you have anything of his that he's touched or left behind?
Personally, no. I could reach out to Carmine, but I'm uncertain.
Yes, we'd be crashing this party on principle alone, not inviting the prince or somebody else, and he's from our very family, too. Oh, the audacity. I will see to it personally that we will find and deliver whatever it is you seek.
Excellent. Now, I must make it clear. It cannot be known too broadly that the prince has asked you to steal from somebody within their domain.
We were asked to attend a party.
Excellent. Very good.
Matt will just kind of shake his head. Wow, I can't hear anything for a minute. What was this about the prince? Must be my imagination.
Very good.
This object, we're talking vase, urn, painting.
What are we looking for?
It is the object, the art itself, is not as important as what might be in it. It is a bust of the, former Princess Isabel.
Understood.
Then I'll definitely know it when I see it.
Carmine has reason to believe that Isabel left something there. He has been trying to find that statue, but has not heard anything about it until somebody brought it to my attention a couple weeks ago. That this party was taking place and that this might be one of the showpieces. How Victor got a hold of this object, we're uncertain. But...
And if we're able to suss out the story of how it fell into his hands, it'd be valuable as well.
I'm sure it would be. All information has a value.
I hope it's not $1.
Would it be $1?
I mean, it depends on the information, right? What if it's a very boring story?
It can't be a boring story. Not this.
Okay.
But yes, I have ways of finding out, and I'm pretty sure the four of us can suss this out easily enough. But yes, we will have that to you, no problem.
Very good. If you do need anything, again.
Actually, yes, I have to know. Do you prefer Edwin, Mr. Kane, Keeper Kane?
Edwin is fine.
Knew I'd like you, Edwin.
Should you need anything, I will be at Elysium. I will be coming to check in from time to time.
Well, you're always welcome. And if the three of us aren't here, Nick is pretty much always home, curled up with a book, smoking a cigar or something.
And drawing up conspiracy theories, it looks like, at this point in time.
Oh, I thought that was attempted art.
I kind of did too. Like, I thought he just wrote out his woes in poetry and then just put it everywhere as like art.
Hate you. Hate all of you.
You were so much fun.
Alright, well then.
I feel like the definition of fun is wrong here.
Good to see you, Edwin.
Good to see you as well. Do you have anything else that you need or any questions before I go?
Do you know of any of the contacts that this Mr. Adams or this Victor's actually, what circles does he move in?
Circles. Well, as I said, he's been relatively antisocial. If he shows up to any events like in Elysium or such, he just tends to disregard it and go about his business. So if he does show up, it's almost nothing of a presence. He comes in. He tends to have... Well, actually, I do have a couple of instances where he came to Elysium. He always had a young kindred with them, usually a toreador. He kind of kept to them pretty close. His clothes were always rather simple compared to the one he was with. He kind of stayed behind them, didn't interact with anyone too much, and he seemed to very heavily watch the child that he was with. And then after a while, he would speak to them for a moment and they'd leave.
Now, this is going to sound like a stupid question, but are there any areas that aren't directly, like if you walk there, you know the prince is involved? Like we have this area, and the people that, are familiar with us will know this is ours. And I know this is the prince's above ours. But I'm looking at a drop point for when we get this, that way it can't get directly tied back.
I'm afraid I'm not following your inquiry.
Basically, Matt doesn't want to leave behind.
If we drop this off somewhere, I want to make sure that we know for certain I'm not going to be dropping it off somewhere that the prince would get directly involved, like tied to it.
Do you know what dead drop is, Mr. Kane?
Yes, thank you, dead drop.
I am certainly aware. Yes. I will provide you the details about where to drop the object when you find it.
Excellent, all I need.
Okay then. If you will excuse me then, if you have no further questions, I will return to Elysium. Again, if you need anything, you know where to find me, and I will check on with you soon. He nods his head, and he turns and leaves. With that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 10-ish minutes. Thank everyone for sticking around so far. We will see you soon. And welcome back. So, last we left off, Edwin had just given you a task, and then left you Coterie Haven. Left you with the task of breaking into a Toreador's party and stealing a statue of the former prince. So you guys have been left alone in your coterie. The scene is yours again.
So, what do we know about Victor?
Grim was watching him. He had
Okay.
mentioned him in the book. I'll have to look over it again and reread. Maybe Nick can take a look at it.
Or maybe you could give it to me and I could read through the book because I said I wanted to look at it anyway.
Nick will look at all the scribblings he's made. I could use a distraction.
All right, and I have a plan. As soon as we figured out where this guy is. All right. Gray, you're gonna be our face man. We're gonna have you in there.
She's gonna give the book to Nick before she gives it to me. Matt, you need to do something about this.
I feel like this is not the salient point, Gray.
Okay. Bella, would there be a problem giving the book to Gray?
Matt has special powers. He can see things by touching them.
I have eyes that can read things.
Yeah, but can you read? I mean, really. Like, he's better at finding stuff out and obviously better at reading. Like, look at all the books he has. I feel he
Just
can get the
threw it
most
out
information out.
Fine. I get it after you're done with it, though. Look at Matt. Tell them, after Nick's done with it, doesn't go back to Bella.
You know, Gray, this would be a perfect moment. It really would. But you know what? After I'm done, I'll give it to you.
Wait. On your honor.
I'll make sure you get the book, Gray. How about that?
Fair.
I try to be nice. And he throws it in my face. Every time.
You should be used to it by now. Okay,
I
so
should.
Bella, would you kindly get the book for Nick?
I mean, I'd have to leave, get a taxi, drive to my place, pick up the book, and then come back.
Okay. Then in the meantime, before you do that, we can talk about what we know about Victor. Victor is actually fairly known amongst the Toreador. At least I've been asking around, seeing if anyone's throwing parties. Folks do know. And the fact that he snubbed the prince, and the fact that the prince doesn't just, I don't know, outright take something from him, has to mean that Victor has connections somewhere, right? So we gotta know who we're dealing with.
Could also be that making it known that that statue is wanted could be a problem.
Would be. You're right.
Why was that ever on the table? I mean, why would we make it known what we want?
No. He's saying meaning the prince, not
Oh,
wanting to
right.
let
Yes.
him know the interest. But then Victor brought a statue of Isabel here. It all reeks of just rubbing it in Carmine's face.
Does. And maybe a trap too.
Do you think Victor knows that there's something inside the bust?
It depends. We probably have to meet the man, see what his personality is, understand. Could be a fop like any social Toreador. No offense, Matt.
I'm offended.
Do I have to go into the reason why that doesn't count?
The fact that there's a bust of the former prince in this person's possession, there's a reason. It's not coincidence. If it was some random prince from another country, okay. There's intent there. What that intent is, don't know. So we also have to be careful because we don't know what this thing is made of, what's inside it, if there's anything inside it at all.
I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be pissed if Victor stole my idea. I was going to make a whole gallery dedicated to Isabel and then invite Carmine to come see it. And if he stole my idea and has a gallery dedicated to Isabel, I'm going to be pissed about that.
Oh, well, regardless, we're going to have some of his stuff here anyway. It'll be fine.
Matt, do we really have to ruin this guy's party? I've suddenly had a change of heart.
Okay. The intent is to at least go and get the object, depending on how much of a warm personality he is, determines on whether or not we do a lot of damage or not.
There's also we need to clock him and see if maybe he knows just how much the prince wants that and what he's going to do to fuck with him. If he's smart enough to understand that he's probably going to need to protect it. You know what I'm saying?
Is a rose. I'm sure he does know what he's doing.
We just got to be careful. We can't let him figure out that we're snooping around, because if he finds out and then we show up at this party, it's gonna get messy and difficult to shake him.
What about the child?
Yeah, we need to figure out who this person is, maybe get some info on them, and then go from there.
Why are we going the kindred route? If he's an art dealer, what doesn't he have kind? Wouldn't his kind possibly be connected to your kind, Matthew? Perhaps we can find out stuff about him through other means.
Oh,
and
I'm gonna look into him. I have some contacts that would probably help me out very easily.
my way into their hearts, tell them fortunes, get invited,
Drug them?
if necessary. I mean, some people will just listen to what you tell them if you tell them things they want to hear.
Happy futures are a hell of a drug.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
That's the most of the ones I do.
I've already been asking around amongst the family to find out whether or not anyone was throwing any soirees. I can continue asking, and you want me to be the face, I'll go ahead and see if I can get Victor's attention. Maybe get him to give us an invite. I mean, he might be snubbing the prince, but that doesn't necessarily mean he should snub both of us.
And also, Bella, your unique talents. How you feel about learning how to lockpick?
I like that idea.
Good. Then maybe someday you can tell me how exactly you do what you do, because I would love to be able to do that.
Farrah, do I know how he could learn how to hide?
I'd say with all of the reading you've done this month, I'd say you might have come across something. Yeah.
I know how. It's really easy.
Well, skill trade. How about that?
Okay.
Because between your ability to hide and my ability to get into damn near anything, I think you will be dangerous if you weren't already. And Nick, you're going to have a very important job. A very important job at this party, and I think you'll like it. I'm going to need you to be an asshole at some point in time and cause a distraction.
Count me in.
See? I told you you'd like it.
Oh, yeah.
If you do need help with that, we could always just dredge up the past and have it out there at the party.
I was thinking about this. We're going to need a way to communicate with each other as best as we can. So, like, earpieces, something. If we could figure out a way to get our hands on a set of those.
Should be easy enough just to buy off the shelf, really. I mean, money's money, right?
Well, we'll definitely want something, discreet.
And depending on what the bust is made of, we're talking 100, provided it's not made out of marble.
It's in honor of a Toreador prince.
It's probably made out of marble. It's gonna be heavy. Oh shit. Okay.
You can always break it.
No, we cannot. We cannot break it. That is right out.
I agree with you. But it is an option.
No, I'm saying it's not an option. That is right out. We're not breaking this. No,
See?
it's not happening.
I see.
All right. I'll come up with a shopping list.
Sounds good. I can go get the book, bring it to Nick, and then when Nick's done, he can give it to Gray.
And if he's keeping himself quiet from, those who might be attached to Carmine in some way, there's always Carmen. I can go give her a visit. If she doesn't know that he's here and where his party is, then, well, she's off her game.
She'd be very unhappy about that.
Can you imagine turning her on to it?
Would you like the honors, or do you want me to do it, Gray?
I could do it, but you and her hit it off pretty well last time.
Yes, but he is always so heartbroken when you're not in her presence.
You could go together.
We could, because I have to let her know that yeah. Well,
Oh no, that's what you thought. Oh no, I totally didn't mean anything like that.
If only it worked that way anymore. But yes, we'll go together, because I need to let her know that the studio's up. I promised I would let her know. I need to speak with her and Irina, too, about painting.
Are you... Let me ask you a question. This might be a little personal.
Me?
But yes. Matt, have you not lost your virginity as a vampire?
The party kind of died down afterwards.
You've never had anyone drink your blood? Straight from the vein?
No. Do not bring that sort of thing up, Gray. That is dangerous and you know why.
It's amazing.
It's extremely dangerous.
It's better than the sex.
No, it's not. Willingly putting yourself in a position to be controlled? No.
You just have to be careful with it. Just like as a mortal, you had to have safe sex.
There's no careful. Who would? What? Why?
Because
know a
of the
reason.
rush.
I know a reason why Matt would drink from my veins. You want to hide. That's how you learn, Matt.
Oh, is that how it works? Is that easy?
Yeah, you just gotta drink, and it awakens the blood. And then...
I need all of you to listen to me for a second here. There is nothing easy about a blood bond. Nothing.
One time's not a blood bond. Stop freaking out.
For some people, it is, and they don't always know it.
Well, take a shot. Have you ever flown in a plane?
Matt, it's your choice.
Nick, have you ever flown in a plane?
Yes, I've flown in a plane.
So you weren't scared to get on that first flight thinking that it might come crashing down?
No, I was scared once it was above the ground and I realized that there's a space between that I have a fear of heights.
But you still got on the plane, you still tried it.
Yeah, because I'm not going to become a slave to someone if I fly in a plane, Gray.
Just
No,
remember.
but you might crash and die. And, I mean...
Oh, it's just death. I'll
All
take
right.
death over control.
Okay. When it comes to the fear of heights thing, there's one thing a friend of mine taught me. It's not the fall that kills you, it's that sudden stop at the end.
I'm aware. As I said, between a ladder and the height and being in a plane, that area, terrified. Otherwise, good.
And I'm not talking about drinking someone else's blood. Like, all of us have done that. Obviously. I'm talking about letting someone drink yours.
That's just as unconscionable.
Unconscionable? Have you done it?
Yeah. I would.
You didn't let Alex drink directly from you?
There's a reason I have a whole fucking thought process on that. In general, it's not something you should do.
In general, I think you should. At least once. If not twice.
I did it. Look, I did it once, and I have certain feelings about that.
In general, if two consenting kindred decide to do it, it's none of your business, Nick.
As I said, you want to do it, it's fine, but you should hear the other side of what can go wrong.
Nothing can go wrong. Trust me. It's amazing.
I don't know what I would do if I was ever fucking controlled like that. Just, fine. Y'all do what you want.
It's not control. It's intimacy. It's closeness. It's a rush.
It is trusting another kindred to not take advantage of you at your weakest.
No. You be safe about it, and you don't do it more than too much, and then you're fine. Once here and there, never thrice.
Do what you want.
So would I have to keep? I mean, like, once I got it, would I have to keep drinking if I wanted to get more?
Look, you talked about your college days. Did you keep up with all of those girls?
I mean, it doesn't have to be me in particular. These two have it in them too.
I do not have the
Speak for
ability to
yourself.
hide. I would not be able to transfer that.
It's in your blood, silly. You may not have it, but it's...
I want you to listen to everything I just said and ask why I'd be willing to do that.
It definitely isn't going to come from Nick.
Fair.
It's nothing against you, Matt. You want to have that power, by all means. But I don't want to do that to you.
Fair. Fair.
We could make it a whole thing. We could candles, rose petals.
Okay,
Those-
foreplay. I'm okay with that. That, you know.
I mean, at least you're admitting it, Gray.
Admitting what?
That you have the ability to hide.
No, I just want to let Matt drink my blood, period.
Mm-hmm.
You could too.
What a gift for some people.
Honestly, I've never shown a talent for much of anything when it comes to hiding. True. I'm being honest with you right now.
No, I know, but whatever.
All right, so about that list.
You can hide this face. The list, right.
List,
Do you
yes.
want me to do
Spell it,
shopping?
book.
or-
If we can get a fucking beat on this place and what to expect, make it easier. We're kind of
Well, I
going
mean-
blind on this.
Let's see if we can get invited by Victor before the party.
Yes.
So let's start with trying to find him.
Absolutely.
And maybe doing some spying. I like to watch things. People.
She likes to watch. Matt and I, and she could watch. And Nick will we'll record it on video for you for when you finally come around.
No!
Don't be such a stick in the mud. You know what you need right now? I think you need a cigar.
So,
And you just ruined any chance of me wanting one just now, Gray.
where would we like to start?
Probably the book.
Yeah,
Probably
I'll go
with
get
the
the
thing
book.
that we have in our possession. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Nick and Gray are bickering. I will go get the book.
All right.
More like while Gray is antagonizing Nick.
You very likely will get the book well before they're done bickering. We'll just go ahead and come back to you guys having done that. So Nick will get the book, and I presume that the intent is to use premonition.
Actually, three things.
Okay.
A regular investigation, scry the soul, and premonition.
Does Scry the Soul work on books?
Well, he's looking into what Grimm's been like. Like Grimm would have obviously watched Victor. I mean, scry the soul is probably
Give me
more
a
based on what
moment.
yeah, and it would. Yeah, it's an object. I think it's scry the soul.
Spirits touches the object.
I think the name is
Yeah, spirit.
the
Sorry,
object.
spirit touch. Yes. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
spirit touch.
that's why I was confused. I was like,
Yeah.
isn't Scry
Yeah,
the
no.
Soul being able to like see auras and stuff?
Look, it's been a month.
All right.
He's
let's see.
rusty.
I'm a bit rusty, yeah.
Okay, so Spirit's Touch, that's what lets you check
Touch
out an object.
Yep.
Okay. Well, first go ahead and give me the Wits Investigation.
I don't want. 4.
4. Okay. You find the same entry that you guys found before, where Victor was mentioned. Kind of looking it over. The person seems to have been maybe tracking the girl specifically, and found that at some point Victor started following them around. The woman that he was stalking was a Toreador, kind of fitting the same description of the people that were also in the book as well. But suddenly the notes kind of get to this Victor character. He followed them around for a bit. Victor was pretty much always there. Victor seemed to have a bit of a controlling kind of relationship with the girl. And then the final part is something to the effect of, like, I think Victor has caught on to my presence. And then it does not mention either of them again. Spirit's Touch.
Intelligence and aspects.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's actually have this work for once, please. Four successes.
Okay, just a moment.
Oh, forgot the rouse. Let me do that as well. Does not get hungrier.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Right out the gate, I'm gonna need a composure and resolve.
Two successes. Actually, you know what? Let me spin the willpower real quick, if I may. Three successes.
You manage to hang on to your fragile sanity for a moment. As you begin using this, you kind of you get this feeling of hunger, very similar to the same hunger you experience on a regular basis, but this isn't something inside of you that you're having to fight. This is more of this. By experiencing this moment, you know that this is the person themselves. They themselves were a monster in some capacity. You feel that calling to pull something apart, to absolutely take a person and show them and yourself that you hold the power, as you snuff out what power they had. And you feel the entrancement of the hunt, the stalking, that whole thing. Eventually, you get to a moment, especially kind of hovering over that space where Victor was involved. And then there's a state of primal fear. That very quickly fades away. You come back to that kind of hunting sensation, and then you feel that same sensation that you felt when you would connect with Benjamin, and then a sharp tinge of fear, and then nothing.
All right. Through that, everyone would see the battle on Nick's face. Like his fangs clearly showing, and at the end of it, as he forces himself to take a breath, he lifts the journal, slams it on the table, and using that anger, that hatred of exactly what he felt, and tinged with that bit of fear of falling into that, almost like mentally screaming at the journal, that grim through the journal, go straight to that premonition to understand Victor, to know what could make this thing afraid, and know more about Victor. And I would like the blood surgeon.
Okay, so what you're doing is, I will allow you to make this attempt, but I'm going to say that yes, blood surgeon, I'm going to need you to make the roll for me. I'm going to say it's a difficulty 5 to accomplish what it is that you're trying to accomplish.
Okay. And then arouse for the premonition. Does not get hungrier on the blood surge. Does get hungrier at the premonition. That's okay. Don't screw me now. Roll a 10. Let's go. I meet it. 5.
Okay.
You know what? Actually, I'd like to make a character decision because of all the feelings and the direction of it. I'd still like to spend a willpower to try to get more.
Sure.
Probably completely unnecessary, but this is who Nick is.
I appreciate the dedication to character. Go for it.
6 successes.
All right. You throw the journal, immediately try to focus in on the experience that you had, and what you are going to see is the moment where he felt the fear. You immediately snap. You're in the middle of not in the middle of the street, you're on the other side of the street, sitting in a car. Lights are off. It's dark, it's quiet. You see a woman. When you see the woman, you're dead, but you feel the sensation similar, an adrenaline rush, like your pulse quickens. As this woman begins moving, you notice the man with her. Tall, slender. Simple clothing, but nice. He carries himself very confidently, but not in a showy way as much. His movements almost seem to be to accentuate hers. He follows closely behind her, occasionally whispering something to her. And then at a certain point, you feel frozen as he turns and looks at your car. He begins to approach. At this point, you begin to hear soft singing in a language you don't know. You can give me intelligence and academics to try to determine what language that might be.
Only one success.
One. Something European. As he's approaching, he kind of leans into the window, and you feel these words kind of hanging on your ear, flowing through you, causing you to just melt within them. And then his eyes kind of flash with this pinkish hue for a moment as you hear the words, "Stay away, or I will kill you." And you feel it cement in your chest and your mind to completely stay away from this woman. And then he stands up, waltzes back over to the woman, and they walk on. And then you snap back.
As Nick,
Caught in the premonition, I'm going to snatch the book up as he's damn near tried to destroy it instead of giving it to me after he was done.
he was about to throw it at you.
Close it and hold on to it.
Nick will come to, basically screaming, "Fuck you!" Fangs bared, fury on his face as he felt control, even though it wasn't his. He felt the feeling of the control taken. Felt the hunger. Everything he hates was in these couple moments. And he snarls and just starts to dry heave. In between the snarling, in between all that, just...
You could have just said it was a bad book.
I think he's gonna pop.
He's taking very, very kind, heavy breaths. Fingers, claw-like fangs bared. Shakily takes a cigarette. Looks for his lighter and then... Fuck. All of them. And flops back into the chair.
You know, they say that when you read, start flipping through the book, you get these images in your mind. I just didn't know they were so vivid for you. Like, it's incredible.
Whatever, right? Like, there's no reaction other than that from Nick. Just can't even seem to muster up the energy to just give a fuck.
Seriously, though, are you alright?
I will be.
You got it under the control?
I was in control the whole time. just feel it. Grim. Okay. And he relays everything he saw. And ending with feeling the control stolen from Victor. On top of having to go through that monster's hunger. As he finishes relaying, just... Victor's dangerous.
I mean,
Chowder's probably the way in.
Grim was dangerous. He was a serial killer.
Oh yeah, but he's dead now.
Wait. You, in the vision, didn't actually confront him. Did you get out of the car?
No.
I don't think you got out of the car. You described getting out of the car.
Victor didn't get out of the car. Victor was in the car, hiding. At one moment, Victor saw him, turned
Grim,
around,
you
and
mean?
walked to the car. Grim
Grim
was in the...
You said
Grim was in
Victor
the
was
car.
in the car hiding.
Grim was in the car. Grim was in the car hiding. Victor, at one point, just knew. Turned around, walked to Grim in the car, and gave him the mandate.
You
And
just
boy,
knew.
did it take. Yeah, he gives a physical description of Victor.
So he was with a woman?
And it seemed to be the same modus operandi that Edwin gave us.
Could
Could
you
be.
describe the woman?
We will do so.
The woman is tall, healthy build, kind of long, just past shoulder length, kind of auburn hair. She was wearing a very form-fitting kind of, there's a bit of shine to it, blue dress. She was wearing heels. A very slender face. But even that was... The makeup was odd. It wasn't anything traditional or anything on that line. It was very smeared or twisted. Designed to look worn.
Also, the way he walked behind her, I get the sense that he presents himself through whoever he's bringing along. He walked as if to make her look better. Very possible that any kindred he takes an interest in is his art, his mind.
She's the canvas, maybe.
Most likely.
Ray will shift a little uncomfortably.
I'm not sure if we're trying to avoid his attention. Going through the child is not the best idea if he is fixated on her.
Oh no, we want to get his attention, for sure. We want to avoid it. At least I do.
I know the child is probably the best way to hurt him, but that's not fair to her.
Yeah, but if we go after this person and then it gets back to us, then he comes after us and it makes it a lot harder for us to get this thing, which is exactly why I want Gray to be the face man on this, because I'm Gray, you're pretty enough, you could be a distraction all on your own, but if you keep his attention on you, it'll make it easier for the rest of us.
I will be whatever he wants me to be. Trust me.
So, I guess it's up to you to find an end.
Well, First, I have to find out where to meet him.
Honestly, though, she looked sick. Then he
And let's
stops.
Let's not talk about hurting him. We're just stealing from him. I don't want to escalate and potentially have him come back on us.
Yes. Oh, I can't get her out of my head. Fuck that monster.
I've had nights like that myself.
No. It's... Like a moment ago, I wanted to see what her blood tasted like. That's... Oh,
We can
never
distract
touch
you.
it. It's fine. Just never let me touch that fucking book again.
Gladly.
Looked great. Like, speaking of distractions, what do you have?
You mean, what do I have? I don't have any
Stash.
diseases, if that's what you're asking.
No. Stash. Fun things. Distractions.
Oh, well, I'm running a little low on supplies, but I do still have some cocaine, if you're interested.
No. Maybe to give to Nick. Something to
No.
help.
Oh, something to bring you down. I don't actually go for the downers.
I'm right here.
Yes, but we could still get... Have you never smoked weed when you were more...
Yes, I have, but I don't need it. It's fine.
Are you...
Remember, hey, it doesn't work unless it's in blood.
Right?
Oh,
So
that's
you-
right. He's used to the old people's medicines.
I hate
Don't
that
they
I have to thank
smoke?
you. I hate that I
No,
have to thank
but
you because I know what
there's-
you're doing and it's working.
There's other things, you know.
Oh,
No.
you're on morphine.
Look, I'm feeling better. It's good. You can stop. I'm better. Thank you.
You're gritting your teeth.
Because I hate you so much.
Look, find one of your dying people high on some of their medical marijuana and...
No. They're already at peace. I don't need to give them peace.
No, don't give them peace. Give yourself some peace. Take a little bit of blood.
Fine. I'm fine. It's coming out of my system. It's fine.
Curl up with a good book instead of this evil one.
I would, but, y'all are kind of here.
Well, this is kind of ours too.
I know, which is why I can't ask you to leave.
I mean, you could. I could say no.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, I gave you the book,
would say
didn't I? I would have.
You kind of flung it at him.
No, but seriously, thank you for putting yourself through that. I don't think any of us could have done it.
Not to the amount that you do it.
Fine. You don't need to thank me.
I saw in your face. I think I did.
Gray, you flexing comes out sometimes. Anyway, enough about me.
Well, Matt, I think we might have a date.
Sounds good. I'll bring flowers.
I do have a question, though. We could potentially divide and conquer. Someone other than Carmen might know a little bit more. There's
Who are you
always
thinking?
Irina.
That's fair. I need to talk to her too about painting.
So, do we split them up or visit them both together?
I'm sure both of them would enjoy both of our, would enjoy both of us at the same time. So,
And it's been a minute since I've had a chance to talk with Irina. We actually really connected last time. Shared
I've met
past
Irina.
experience. Good.
She's
You're
a
good
good people. Ish, as we can be.
So I'm the only one that
Aren't we
hasn't
all
met
good
this
people?
girl?
She's good
I
company.
think I met her once. The prince.
I mean, if we're all going, we could all go. Sure that she'd enjoy the company. But we do need to call ahead. We can't just show up unannounced.
Matt will text because he's got Carmen's number and say, when you're available, Gray and I would like to talk to you.
Just a moment. You send the text, and as you wait for a response, is there anything else you'll be doing this evening?
I think I'm gonna step out for a minute. I'll be back shortly. But feeling a bit tight.
You said peckish.
No. And is Nick still smoking?
Mhm.
Okay. Nick, can you do me a favor? Because I'm going to need you to get into the habit of balcony.
That's art, right?
It's just, this is going to start standing up the place, and once I start getting this place a little more suited, I'm just going to need you into the habit.
And until I get a place I can smoke inside on, one condition. Custom mosquito netting around the balcony. It blocks some of the wind.
Noted.
Yeah, I don't want my cigars having to cut them up all the time. But that's fair. I should be able to get a place eventually if I can figure out the cigar bar, but
I'm gonna step out, grab my phone, and shoot a quick text message to my sire, Victor Adams, Angel's Child, question mark, and leave it at that. I'm concerned that Victor potentially could be one of Michael's, or one of the church, and that could complicate things.
After what feels like a while, you get a reply. You pick up your phone, you look at the screen, and open the message. And you see the message, yes.
Text back a heart. Text a heart back. Red heart emoji.
Got it.
And to go walk I don't actually need to hunt, but I need to kill time because I told them I was hunting.
Okay, so you are hunting?
No, I just need to kill time because I told them I was going out to hunt. And then
Gotcha.
I'm gonna come back.
Alright then, what is everybody doing while he is hunting?
He's kind of just laid out, just staring at the ceiling, just mumbling to himself a little bit.
So, if Gray doesn't work, do you have a plan B? Z? Does anybody go plans backwards? Like, start with plan Z?
I started to do that, and I mix it up. I once had to get to a plan J, and thankfully there wasn't a scar.
Were you going backwards or forwards at the time, or in the middle?
I think I started at F.
Oh, okay.
Because you always have to expect plan A to fail. That's what I've learned.
That's for friendship.
Anyway, and Matt's cycling. He's going through his phone, looking at furniture to, like, put in the room. Gray's not here, but and he's going to find this, like, almost Victorian red with wood trim couch. What do you think of this? Too gaudy?
I like it.
You can't really go wrong with Victoria.
Add to cart.
As he's scanning, I'll be like, ooh, I like that mirror. I could break it, and then we could put it on the wall.
Add to cart.
Ooh.
You're doing it outside, though.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, like he'll point to the Tabacalera painting of, like, tobacco fields, and the people's like, that's got a nice brush stroke to it. It looks like it was made back in, like, 1965. Maybe it's probably a replica, but I mean, like, me, it's like, that's a lovely piece. Muted.
He'll click on the screen and kind of zoom in on the picture. Just kind of. Yeah.
I'll say at this point, Gray comes back.
Thank you for waiting. Maybe Joe would be gone by now, and then I would have to catch up with you.
We're buying furniture.
Anything in particular?
There's this really pretty red couch, and a mirror, and some field picture that Nick wants.
It is a tobacco field. It's a painting of the farmers as they're picking the tobacco fields, and the Tabacalera, who owns the tobacco company, going through it. Like, it's not like the greatest painting in the world, but it's very common amongst cigar aficionados. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. Okay.
Matt will hand his phone to Gray and just say, find something that's to your taste, as we've got something for everybody else.
Ray will take a look at the phone and kind of scroll.
I mean, at least I didn't get video game posters.
Just pick anything. Hand it back to you after several minutes of analysis paralysis. Anything is fine.
You okay, Gray?
Yes. I'm not sure what would be best here.
Hey, what's an insight that? 'Cause
Sure.
This is not the self-confident Gray that Nick is used to.
Yeah, go
If you're
for it.
okay with that, Kyrie, like if you feel that that is justified.
Yeah.
Okay. Make your appropriate rolls. Gray, as you were kind of holding the phone and you go to give it back, you see a notification pop up with Carmen's name across the screen.
Oh, looks like Carmen. I'll do back to you.
Only 3, and he's not like he is not in the mind to be willpower focused at the moment.
Matt will check the phone.
You open up the message. It says, I suppose I can tear myself away from my work long enough to make time for 2 of my favorite handsome gentlemen, with a heart and a rose.
Excellent. We got Carmen willing to meet.
So, something like that.
Well, Gray, are you rolling anything against that insight, or?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Probably gonna beat it. Yeah. Only got 3.
Hard to read.
We should probably deal with Carmen before we start picking out furniture, and it'll give me some time to think about what would fit the space.
She agrees to meet with you tomorrow night.
Well, make the day.
Yep.
You 2 have fun with that.
You're not coming.
I don't think I'm exactly wanted in the club.
Well, I think you're wanted as long as you're not reading books.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to do.
You can
I
dance.
say, I
No.
say, we just keep it to me and Gray. No offense to you two. I just,
No, that's exactly what I want it to be. No offense taken.
Well, then maybe, Bella, you could dance with Nick here.
Why don't you like to even dance? Everybody dances.
I just don't.
You don't even have to be good at it.
I don't dance anymore.
Maybe you should.
No. Like Nick is like just not facing that question right now. Like you see him, he's reaching for the coin that he doesn't have any longer. Still reaching for that, even though it's not there.
Okay, well. Have fun with Carmen. Tell her I said hi.
Oh, I intend to.
With
I
that,
suppose I could go dancing by myself.
It's
I'll
not,
dance with you when I get back.
It's not a me saying no to the things you're saying are fun, Bella. Just I don't dance anymore. I'm sorry.
You can dance if you want to. You could leave your friends behind. Because your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, they're no friends of mine.
I was
Yeah.
more under the impression that he's got guilty feet that got no rhythm because he's never going to dance again.
Well, that's a good one too.
It is. It's. I just don't. It's my. It's. There's a reason, and I'm just not.
Although Nick strikes me more as a safety dance kind of guy.
Believe it or not, ballroom. Once upon a time.
I'm sorry, what?
Just gonna tuck that away for later.
I said once upon a time. long ago.
Well,
You
We're
are not the
getting
only
you to
one.
dance again.
No, I didn't say I was good at it.
You are my project. I'm sorry. I'm going
I'm-
to make a gentleman of you, you bastard. No. It's too late. Nick, it is too late for you. I will make you perfect again.
I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm really not, Matt. And if you want to make a gentleman of me not dancing is part of me being a gentleman.
I think with this, my job is done. I'm going off into the night to go do whatever it is I do. None of your business. Bye-bye.
And with that, with your next actions set, we will retire for the night and go into the day. And bring a close to our session this week. Thank you everyone for tagging along, and thank you to these lovely players, and we will see you all in the next chapter.